Morning, nonke guys, on this rainy day, rainy week, rainy month, floods everywhere. So it is experiencing floods, overflowing dams, guys. We hope abantu abavelelwe inkinga yongenelwa amanzi they gather strength and they move forward from lento eyenzakalayo, guys. And we hope nje ukuthi uJehova uzosizwa asilamlele kule mvula or asixolele kule mvula. So today ngizokhuluma about something that's a bit sensitive, I think, to abanye abantu who may think bona bayazi ngendlela yabo. And I often say in spirituality izinto zambulwa ngendlela different to a lot of us. Every one of us is unique. Nama revelations that we get from our spirit guides or guardians are very different, and the knowledge that we get is different. The training that we get is different. So do not feel intimidated or feel threatened by another person's knowledge. Umuntu nomuntu izinto zambulwa differently, and we just need to embrace that and grow and learn from each other as well. Oh, when we bona kanje, mina I thought ikanje. Okay, guys. So today I'm going to talk about how do you identify spirits, the presence of spirits in your house. How do you identify the presence of spirits in your house? Spirits in a sense where we go to religious terms, angels, because in religious terms they are called angels, in spirituality they are called spirits, and so gunama definitions engathi abantu babuka ngathi ahlukene, but they are very much the same. So I'm going to talk about, first of all, I'm going to clarify in my space isithunywa, ithonga, nedlozi. And then in terms of religion and in terms of spirituality, and then talk about how do you identify things that you should look out for to identify with there's a presence of a spirit in your house, and also to be able to tell which spirit is present at that time, or which spirit is visiting at that time. So ngizoqala kanje. So we get, in religious terms, we've got archangels, and we got guardian angels, right? Those are religious terms. And then we've got guardian angels, because remember, in the spiritual world, there is God. There's a hierarchy. So the hierarchy always starts with God, and then you get archangels, you get and then guardian angels, whatever. However, in the space of guardian angels, or in the space of angels themselves, kufike kube nama levels athize futhi. Okay, so first, and foremost, in religious, those that are mentioned, by the Bible, which are archangels. And archangels in the Bible, we are told it's Raphael, Michael, and Gabriel. It's Raphael, Michael, and Gabriel, and the Bible mostly speaks about Michael. Those are archangels. And then when we take it to the spiritual terms, sibabiza ngeyithunywa. Those three that are mentioned as archangels, ithunywa: Michael, Raphael, and Gabriel. Ithunywa zikaNkulunkulu, which is also known as second command to God, So now archangels is from archangels is a term from Greece, or from the Greek, which means chief messenger. Okay, so thina ngesintu sethu, or in spirituality we say isithunywa, which is isithunywa. It's basically a spirit esingazange siwuthinte lo mhlaba, spirit esingazange sizalwe, did not come into a human form, into the physical flesh. Ayizange ingene ku physical flesh. So those are the ones that we call archangels, guys, and isithunywa at the same time. And then bese kuba khona ithonga, or amathonga. Ithonga, basically. Ithonga is a spirit, an ancestral spirit that has crossed over, and has found itself in the spiritual world. That is ithonga. Ithonga, it's ogogo nomkhulu bethu that were in the physical world and passed on ngesikhathi esiright and moved over or crossed over into the spiritual world and find indawo yabo there, or and balapho in a peaceful space in the spiritual world. And what do I mean by that? Ithonga is a guardian angel. So in religious terms, in religious term, ithonga is a guardian angel from your ancestors. Okay, so what do I mean? So guys, I always say this, and when I make videos about spirituality and callings, abantu abangasekho bayagezwa. Guys, bayagezwa, and the reason we cleanse them, it is not because maybe it is just a belief, lo muntu shonile, so what, there's nothing else. We are not cleansing the physical flesh, but we're cleansing the spirit itself to find its way into the spiritual realm, to find its a position in the spiritual realm, because or spiritual world, because nangali kudingeka purity and cleanness. So siklina indlela or ipath yabo. So guys, in mourning period, when we mourn, ngesikhathi sizilile, you need ukugeza afterwards. You need ukugeza, and the reason being, you are giving that person ilento, some sort of tool to move, to cross over. Kunabantu who their spirits, that have not crossed over, that are still hanging on to this world. And I've given a lot of reasons in one of my videos why spirit hangs like in that space. Imkhathi, when we speak of imkhathi, usemkhathini lo muntu, there's a reason. There's izinto ezenza ukuthi umuntu ahlale emkhathini. And now, because of this particular video, those now are the spirits that we call idlozi. Idlozi is a spirit that possesses someone to become a healer. A spirit that possesses someone to go into the root of initiation and healing. And why do we say it is a spirit that possesses someone? Idlozi is a spirit that hasn't crossed over. And reason being why lo muntu angaka cross over, it's because sometimes when we speak of untimely deaths, where umuntu uyashona engakaqedi uhambo lwakhe, umuntu uyashona begene gift, begene calling, ashone angazange alisebenzise ngendlela right, or angazange alisebenzise for the main purpose that they were called for. Bese lo muntu ahlale emkhathini kuthiwe, okay, for you to cross over, one of your children or one of your relative needs to take over. Ugezwe wenze. That is why when we go to initiation, the first thing is cleansing, then kunama processes, because kuhlinzwa le spirit. We trying, it's not because uphathiswa ubunzima, but kutry ukuthi kuncengelwe le spirit to move over to being, or to move forward to being ithonga. So idlozi, it's lana in between earth and the spiritual world. Agaga move over until certain things are done. Bese ke a move forward to being ithonga. So that's, for me, that's the difference, and that's what has been revealed to me. Kube guys, kwambulelwe mina ngaleyo ndlela. I'm not lento disputing abanye abantu indlela abayichaza ngayo, ngichaza ngendlela engiyiboniswe ngayo. So kunomehluko between isithunywa, ithonga nedlozi. It's a spirit that possesses, is an ancestral spirit, which is a guardian spirit or an angel. And then within the midst of Amathonga, there is also the lead spirits, which is, I also talk about them most of the time, that gunabapete, guys. And then that's when we come to a spiritual coding, which I spoke about. Spiritual coding, we are coded differently, and yet our spirits are different, and our spirits strength of our spirit is different as well. So you need to go to understand, okay, when you speak of ithonga, you're speaking of umuntu osedlulile, or cleansed, or clean. And then it was the spirits that's trying to find its way to this space Amathonga. Hope I did explain it right, guys, and I hope you do understand. So now, in terms of archangels, now in terms of isithunywa, guys, in that space, those spirits, you will sense them. Isithunywa, you sense it. Isithunywa somoya. Sorry, I had to say this. Isithunywa somoya. Okay, those are archangels. Isithunywa somoya. They often visit, or they often engage in, archangels often engage in when uzoba spiritual warfare, which is ilesikhathi lesi uzoyithola mhlambe ulwa in a dream. Okay, ulwa, or and in most cases what they do is, I will try and make a video of this, of ama fights in our dreams and the different types of fights. Usually lesithunywa si awakened when it's a spiritual attack, and now sizama ukubonisa ukuthi you are powerful in fighting this ngalendlela ethize, and in most cases umthandazo. So trainer in that form. Guys, I also wanted to say this. Umuntu, all of us, especially gifted people, sigaw 2. Guys, you are gifted gaw 2. Unesithunywa, unedlozi. Sorry, unesithunywa, unethonga. Okay? Unesithunywa, unethonga. And then, depending on the spirit esingene kuwe, yise sizoba dominant. So, or depending on how powerful leso spirit is, sizoba dominant empilweni yakho. That means uzosebenzisa lawo mandla. So if kukuthi esidominant empilweni yakho besebenzisa siyithonga, which is besebenzisa ipath yo initiation nokuthwasa, uzoyenza lokho. So kuzophakamya ithonga. Okay, and then if kukuthi bekumuntu womoya, bekumuntu owesithunywa, kuzophakama isithunywa somoya. Okay, sigaw 2, but kunale efika iphakame isebenze. Not that le ayisebenzi. Hence we saying umuntu nebutho. Kule space of healing, ku space of calling, awubi nento eyodwa, unebutho lakho. You've got soldiers, which is these spirits, guides, different ones, and they all contribute something. That is why when we consult, sibiza bonke, and we try to welcome all of them, and we try to invite all of them, so they work together, lebutho lakho, in ukusiza lo muntu, because even lo muntu ozilo zo consulta akazanga umuntu oyi-one. That is why in most cases we ask for paternal surnames and maternal surnames. Umuntu akazi just one spirit or one guardian kwimpilweni yakhe. There's a lot. That is why if now kuzovela abantu abaningi, and this is where shamanism in my space comes in, then uzothola ukuthi now I get to communicate with a group of spirits and not just one. Toguti, you move from this one to this one because this one comes through, this one says this. And in most cases, the lead spirit will often talk, but then bazovela laba emuva, or bazovela laba because now we're trying to get to a solution, and then we're trying to get to a root of the problem. So, akwenzeki ukuthi kuvele umuntu oyi-one. In some cases it does happen, but in most cases that I've seen, kuyenzeka nje ube busy nomuntu uzithole sowuride abantu abayi-10 at once. And I'll try also to make a video of that, the how does shamanism work, because it is a term that is not familiar in black culture, in thina abantu abamnyama. However, most of us do use shamanism, do practice shamanism. Shamanism is also a gift, and I'll explain how it relates to mediumship, how it relates to, I'm not sure about other spheres, guys. I'm not sure about abantu abathongeni abathwasile, but in my space, how mediumship relates with shamanism. So hence I've said now, archangels, they engage mostly when it's going to be a spiritual warfare, and then they possess the gift of power, the gift of glory, and the gift of intelligence. Power, glory, intelligence is isithunywa leso. Because it's something that has to do with umoya, okay? It's something that has to do with ilento intelligence yakho, and I did speak about the flow of communication and how do we communicate, and I think there was a video that I did that I spoke about or the different forces that we come from, or the different spiritual nations or clans that we come from. So yeah, and then when we go to Amathonga now, these are these are ancestral spirits in guardian angels, which possess a gift of guidance, prophecy, and protection. Guidance, protection, and prophecy. Prophecy and guidance and protection. Umsebenzi wabo. Okay? They guide you. You get a gift of prophecy to see things, to visions, dreams. Those are the gifts that you get from Amathonga. So, and then we have to understand at what point in our lives that isithunywa will try to communicate, and we have to understand at what point does Ithonga try to communicate. So I hope I've made it clear, guys. So you need to understand ukuthi is which spirit is actually visiting, and the reason for it visiting at that time. So I'm going to go to now how we identify, guys. And there's a lot that I wrote here, so I'm going to refer. Feathers in your house, right? Feathers that we see, and for some reason you don't see any source. Which is pumapi. There's no source where the feathers come from, but you constantly find feathers in your house. Feathers is your spiritual guidance, your spiritual guides, guardians, trying to say to you, hey, we love you, we are here, we are present, we care. Okay? They are saying to you, we are here, we care, sinawe. Now, it is a problem, mawumuntu, and it's silent in your space. It's silent in your house. And what do I mean by this? There's no signs, there's no movement in terms of impilo say routine, there's no, and this is this yenzeka if kuguti you don't acknowledge the presence of the spirits, because spirits want you to acknowledge their presence all the time, and they want you to acknowledge ukuthi banawe bakhona and engage with them. The relationship, what makes a spirit siphile, it's memory and engagement, and in some instances ukulega, and as often as possible when you speak about them, they become active because ubapha mandla. Remember, these people, the spirits are very short-tempered, guys. It's a process of battering for them. And now when you expect them ukuthi bazoza ngesikhathi wena obafuna ngaso, but you do nothing in embracing their memory, in embracing their presence in your life, then bazothula now. That is why we often get abantu to being told ukuthi lekhaya li quiet, lithulile, lekhaya liyabanda. And I always say this, not in terms of temperature, but in terms of the presence of spirits or angels. So I spoke about feathers, guys. The feathers that you see, spirits are communicating with you. You should always pay attention to those. Coins, not dark coins, guys. Amascent, no. Coins. The bright coins. Most of the time, when you find yourself utholana nama coins, sometimes a coin is handed to you by umntwana. Sometimes a coin uthola nje in a very like weird space or weird place, or like ungacabanganga. Do you understand? Those coins, you need to observe, okay? Those coins that you get like randomly, you need really to pay attention to the date of the coin. What does the coin have? Sometimes you get that coin and in a certain mind, like mindset, or in certain thoughts, something, and also in between those thoughts you suddenly get a coin. Iyakhuluma, and it's mostly that you have to mind your thoughts, and also mind your surrounding. And yeah, so observe the date. It's very sometimes it's very, very, very important that you observe the date your coin, and be mindful of your thoughts and your surrounding as well. So sometimes they're trying to say to you, yeah, you've lost focus. Lapho khona. Move. You understand? So it's not some sort of a warning, but also because sometimes sukucabanga into wrong. and you're not even supposed to have those thoughts, but then uzithola uyicabanga into. So, and then all of a sudden you see a coin, they're trying to say to you, hey, wake up. You understand? Umcabangi wrong, wrong lapho khona. And then now there's a difference between coins and paper money. When you get paper money, it's no longer guardian angels. Paper money, like you get 50 rand, 200 rand, 10 rand, yeah. It's no longer guardian angels that are talking to you. It's archangels that are talking to you. Isithunywa ikhuluma nawe. And usually when you get that money, it's because it comes either as a warning sign. Zithenga something, okay, or something big is going to happen. Isithunywa suke ithenga something. And mina, I get worried when I get such, because that means le ezayo inkulu. Do you understand? You get people who mutu paper money and you're like, you don't even know the person, or you do know the person and you never even ask for the money, and then and you need to also observe such and mostly mhlambe asithi ngesinye isikhathi uzoyenza into enhle suke saying thank you in advance, or kuzoyenzeka into ebhlungu and suke zithi listen, it's a way of comforting you in a way. So those two are different. And then chills and we get chills. Usually chills you get in your chins, you get in your back, and some come in a form of goosebumps. Some come in a form of what is this? So goosebumps, and then goosebumps is usually accompanied by a change of tone in your skin, right? Those chills, guys, it's a spirit validating, good, I'm here. Guiding angels and Amathonga validating that I'm here. Spirits vibrations or energy vibrations are very much higher than us. Tina, as humans, we've got this low energy vibrations. So when a spirit, you get chills and you get those vibrations like goosebumps and chills and all of that, you must understand is spirit singenile, trying to take over the energy vibrations from you. And this is usually happens when we consult and you reading a spirit and immediately singena validate something that you are on the right track. Or so with a normal person, masingenile, it's just trying to tell you the present would say for ngila, I'm just around you. I even got this one for me and it was very unique, like as if somebody was saying open your hand, as if it was sort of like begging bamba ngesandla, like you know when somebody holds your hand. So I felt like my daughter was saying I'm here and she was holding my hand. It was very, very special for me. So they do that. And then ringing on the ear, you constantly feel the so spirits vibrate in a sort of sound and frequency, and they're ringing in your ear. Sometimes they're trying to tune you to their frequency, and their warnings or their words, but you're not ready to hear what they're saying. So they're preparing you to that that this message is going to be delivered. Wait for it. So when you feel the ringing in your ear or the itchiness of the ear, they're in tuning you to their channel now, their spiritual channel, saying, "Kune messages is later. You are not ready for it now. Ieza later on." And then bed poop when a lot of times. Inyoni inhlanhla. Yes, inhlanhla. Inyoni sometimes inhlanhla, I think. And also, not the inhlanhla that something is coming or you are blessed or at that moment an acknowledgement of something wonderful that you have done. They are saying thank you. It's sort of like a positive acknowledgement. Bed poop all the time. It's a positive acknowledgement. And then the itchiness of the palm. A lot of times not necessarily money in a physical form. Also, like bed poop, a positive sign that when this is right, or whatever that you are going to do, the food that you're going to touch, we are blessing it. Siyayiblessa lokudla zokuthinta, lokudla zokupha abantu, lokudla wezoyenza umsebenzi. The itchiness of the palm means that we are blessing. It's sort of like a blessing. And through your palms to maybe asithi uzonikeza, you don't even know yet, but uzopha umuntu into. They bless you beforehand, before you do that act. So it's something that we're not aware of, but a lot of times you get itchiness of the palm and you think imali, but it's not necessarily about physical money, but an acknowledgement for them for a blessing that of something you're going to do or something you're going to receive. And then we get to warmth and comfort in your house. Remember, I said these things, most of the signs you get inside your house. Warmth and comfort in your house. I've often spoke about that, where it's spirits telling you that they are based in your house. Their presence is forever there, and they also, not only you finding comfort, but they find comfort in your house, in your space. So you often get people coming in and sleeping all of a sudden, muntu or abantu forever want to be in your space, in your house. You understand? And that's because of the comforts that the house itself is bringing to abantu and the spiritual world at the same time. Music from Norway. A lot of times you hear music, but and or a song. You need to pay attention also to the music and the song and the weights of the music and the song, because it got, and then sometimes you get a series of songs in similar theme, like you would hear a song about the beauty of life and blessings of life. They in a series of the same themes. That's when spirits are saying to you, listen to the words of the song. They are there. It's sort of like a message. Sometimes the music itself is a message to you, or a song. And sometimes you find that they teach you a song to sing. And sometimes like you dream of a song. Guys, try to remember the words of the song when you dream of the song, because sometimes it is a tool for you ozoyisebenzisa later on in life. Like sometimes you dream of a song, you dream that song. They are saying to you, when things go bad, sing that song. We've given you that tool. If when you pray, sing that song, because it means something. It is a tool for something. A weapon to fight with certain spirits or certain dark and negative spirits in your life. So you need to sing that song. You need to remember that song. Butterflies in your stomach. Hence I've said before, butterflies in your stomach and twinkling of eyes. A lot of times we feel as if it's gas, and sometimes it's just, I think butterflies in the stomach, it's warmth, and also when you are excited about something, and so they also validate, and they also trying to say, let's say usually when you meet someone, and it comes mostly in love, when you meet someone and you get butterflies in your stomach, and you feel that some sort of connection. Sometimes they're trying to acknowledge that, okay, lo muntu bekethunyelwe yithi. Sometimes it's not even to be in a relationship, guys. You meet a stranger, you have a conversation, you get butterflies in your stomach. It doesn't necessarily mean that there has to be a relationship. They are trying to say to you, besikhona, in a form of a person, just to visit you. Okay? Validation that besikhona, besinawe in a physical form. Sometimes the twinkling of eyes, and I hear people saying a lot, ngizobona into, ngizokhala, ngizoyenza like. Also, that is a validation that yes, it's sort of like a message. You're not ready to see what we want to show you. We are preparing you for what you're going to see. And sometimes when they say you're going to see, it's not something scary. It's like, watch the space. Something is going to happen. Twinkling of the eye. Not necessarily go to zokhala most of the time. It's not really a bad sign or an unpleasant sign, but sometimes they just say something is coming up. You're going to see the lento ezoyenzeka or lento esizokunikeza abantu uzoyibona ngamehlo. Now this one is the smell. So smelling igayu, guys. When you smell sweet scents, sweet aromas, sweet. So with guardian angels, uzosmela amasweet all the time. When they are present, usmela something minty chocolate smell. There's a sweet in there, sort of like not like food, like sweets, okay, candy. Those are guardian angels confirming their presence. And then when you smell of florals like flowers, those kind of smells, flowers, perfume, those are archangels, which is isithunywa. So the guardian angels, when you smell sweets and everything else, Amathonga. I think also they come in snuff and cigarette, and sometimes you even smell BB, I think, and then Amathonga. And then when you smell of perfumes and florals, isithunywa. So at that moment, it's all about what the spirit is visiting for. Either in my space, low mutengzomsiza, it's crucial that ngimsize because into has gone for too long. So that's what the archangels are saying, or that's what isithunywa is saying. And then the presence in terms of flashing lights, guys, flashing light and colors. Positive spirits usually come with a positive light, a flashing light, color. Now, kunomehluko between what I've explained and negative spirits. And sometimes we see a shadow in most cases. That is not a shadow in most cases. Can either be umuntu who hasn't crossed over trying to communicate a message because they are hanging on, and sometimes because kunezinto efaneke umuntu ayixolisele and okunezinto umuntu okufanele zenziwe, which now we speak of idlozi. And then gunale shadow, which comes as a demon. A demon is sort of like a negative spirit, a bad spirit at the same time. Demon is just a religious term. But that spirit is saying, and then also within the dark shadow, that spirit also is something wrong now, iyathunyelwa. Okay? So there is this dark shadow of usually it's an old man. And I think in most cases it's an old man. It comes as an old man. I don't know why. But it's in a male form. That idlozi, and then there's a male that comes in a male wearing black things, wearing a hat, that's a sign of death. In a dream, when you see that man with batini, it tops. I think it tops. The hat they used to wear it dala. That hat is a sign of death. That man is a sign of death. As funny, guys. So we need and I will try to explain when I explain dreams. I spoke about the idlozi, the one that is a bad spirit which comes like in a form of isilwane or anything else. That is now you should know what I go busy. It's warfare, spiritual attacks. There is in a form of isilwane or just a weird shadow. And then guys, shadows moving around, and you see shadows moving around. That is also spirits that have not moved, have not crossed over. Oh yeah, I've actually said a mouthful today, but sorry about that. But I do hope you will ask questions, and I do hope you will subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for listening. Ask questions if you're not clear about something, and then I will do a series of videos, because I have a good catch up from the time when I was busy that bengingekho online. And also, guys, there is one thing that I missed when I was talking about the growth, spiritual growth. Amaphupho wethu, when we have grown spiritually, do no longer come in a form of an animal or an object. Afike as abe clear. If a spirit visits you, kuba clear ukuthi ubani uze ngani, and the message is even clearer. So as we grow spiritually, namaphupho wethu aba clearer and clearer, ziyavuleka izinto. So that is why it's very important to grow. That is why it's very important to be in a space of inner peace all the time, so that izinto zizoba more clear. Ngiyabonga kakhulu, as I've said.